This is the Tamron 70-300mm. If you don't know, this channel started as a travel channel, and from there it actually evolved into different tech style of videos. But one thing that has been always going on, whether on this channel or on a separate channel, is that I make travel videos. And both for the travel videos and the videos that you watch here, so the tech channel, you see the footage from the Tamron 70-300mm f2.8, and I've always thought that it would be nice to have an extra extended reach when I make the cinematic and the travel videos. So I reached out and got a hold of for testing the 70-300mm Tamron, so that it nicely matches my Tamron that I have on my camera. Because of that, I have a nice range from 28 to 300. And really quickly, I just wanted to thank Focus Nordic for sending this out for me to test out and see how I like it. Without them, this video would not be possible. With that being said, the Tamron 70-300mm, it is not a fixed aperture like the one that I'm recording with right now. It is a 4.5 to 6.3, meaning that it does change its aperture throughout the range. So the more you zoom in, the more darker it's gonna be, the less light it lets in. But at such a big range, if you are thinking about the background blur, the bokeh, it is gonna be pretty much good to go because of the compression when you zoom in. It is just how it works. So in my opinion, even at 6.3, you can still have a very beautiful background blur in the photos and videos. It is gonna be a difference when you're making a video because the more you zoom in, the darker the scene is gonna be. So a great tip when shooting with this could be to have auto ISO so that when you zoom in, it is gonna keep the same level of exposure. But I have to say that on a full frame, a 70-300mm usually is a much bigger and heavier lens. Not only this Tamron is a much more lighter weight, but also the form factor is super nice. To be honest, it's not much bigger than the 28-75 that I shoot with on daily basis. It is definitely a little bit longer, but it's not much heavier and it's not much bigger than it. So it just seems to be that there's a nice benefit of having a lot of nice range. From 70 to 300 is a lot on a full frame camera, but also it is not gonna weigh you down. It's not gonna be too big in your backpack or on your camera. It is really nice because you don't have to carry something huge. You only have to have this with you. So you have a nice connection and setup with the 28-75 and this 70-300. I really like the look of a zoom lens like this. It creates that nice foreground and background. You can really zoom into objects that are way farther and have that nice specific cinematic look to the photos and videos. If you're enjoying the music in this video or in any other of our work, check out the links down below for copyright-free music. And with such a big zoom, you can have a nice compression of the background. So the background blur and also the compression as in the way the background is gonna look, because it's gonna be much different background blur, background separation and background look than a much lower zoomed in lens. And better yet, with something like the Sony a7 IV, you can crop in the sensor to the APS-C style of a sensor, meaning that you have a 1.5 times crop, meaning this becomes a 450mm if you add that. So you can really zoom in a lot farther with this lens, with the Sony cameras. Also, depending on the region, it's gonna be priced differently. From what I saw, this is one of those nicely priced lenses that are just worth to get if you're looking for something that works great, has great performance, but also is not gonna break the bank. So in my opinion, if you already have something like the a7 IV or a7 III, and you have a Tamron 20-75 for everyday shooting, which can be a workhorse of a lens. And if you're interested in that dedicated video to that lens, check out the video in the top right corner of the screen right now. But that can be a great connection with that lens to have that extra reach for those occasions where you're wanting to zoom in a little bit farther. Maybe there's an animal or a tree or a person somewhere a little bit farther and you want that reach. This is the lens to get. I feel like at this price range, there's nothing to really say that is not good with this lens. Yes, there are faster lenses with a fixed aperture, for example, or a bigger range. There's always going to be some lens that might have something better than this. I feel like for those that are looking for something that is not going to break the bank, that works fine, is in a pretty nice lightweight setup, isn't too big, and just works perfectly fine, gets great results for both photos and videos with great autofocus, I feel like this is a great lens to get. And I definitely love how lightweight it is. For a travel filmmaker, this is a dream come true to have so much more range, at the same time not having a much heavier backpack. Once again, big thank you to Focus Nordic for making this video possible. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed this video once again, and I'll see you next time.